Hello everyone, in this lesson, we will do the GRE configuration example with you. First of all, let me talk about our topology and then let's start our configuration. We have two locations in our topology. This is our first location, this is our second location. We will create a GRE tunnel between these two locations and we will use subnet 192.168.100.0 in the GRE tunnel. We will use the 164.1.0 subnet between router 1 and ISP1, the 164.2.0 subnet between ISP2 and router 2, the 10.2.2.0 subnet in our second location, and the 10.1.1.0 subnet in the first location. After we make the GRE tunnel, we will configure OSPF between the two locations and we will take the subnet we use in the tunnel to area 0, and our 10.1.1.0 subnet here will be in area 1. We will have 10.2.2.0 subnets here in area 2. First of all, let's ping the WAN IP of router 2 and check if we have access or not. I have also configured BGP between the ISPs here and there is a default route from router 1 to the ISP, in the same way we have a default route from router 2 to ISP2. Let's check our settings first, then ping 164.2.2 to see if we have access to it or not. I'm writing a show IP interface brief, where the IP of our gigabit 00 interface is 10.1.1.1. Gigabit 01 here is our interface on the WAN side. When we write show IP route, you can see our default route here, it goes to 164.1.2, so I wrote a default route towards the ISP's IP here. In the same way, there is a default route from router 2 here to ISP1 too. Now let's check if we have access from router 1 to router 2 or not. As you can see, we now have access to 164.2.2, and now that we have access, we can now create our tunnel. I write interface tunnel 100, I specify a bandwidth here, let it be bandwidth 4000. After specifying the bandwidth, I write the IP address of our tunnel, 192.168.100.1. Now let's specify an MTU, now let's enter the keep alive command. I say question mark, here it asks for the keep alive period, I specify it as 5 seconds, when I put another question mark, it shows how many times it will be tried, let it be tried 3 times, it will try 3 times every 5 seconds. Now let's specify our tunnel source interface, tunnel source gigabit 01. After specifying the tunnel source, let's write the tunnel destination address, our address is 164.2.2 WAP IP of router 2. Now that we have done our tunnel configuration, let's do our OSPF configuration. Let's move on to router 2. I say router OSPF 1, let the router ID be 1111. I am writing our network that we want to publish. Let's write our wildcard. This is in area 1, now let's publish the interface IP of the tunnel, 192.168.100.1. Since this is just the IP address, I type 4 zeros into his wildcard and make it area 0. We have finished our router 1 configuration, now let's do our configuration on router 2. I'm typing interface tunnel 100. I make a bandwidth 4000, I write the IP address. I specify the IP MTU value. I specify the duration of keep alive and how many times it will try. It will send a keep alive message every 5 seconds and repeat 3 times. Here, too, our tunnel source interface is gigabit 01. Let's write our destination interface and address. Now our tunnel settings are okay, let's log out and make our OSPF settings. I write router ID 2.2.2.10.2.0 in our subnet that we will publish here. This will be in area 2, now let's publish it in our IP address that we use in the GRE tunnel. This will be in area 0. I say end, you can see that our neighborhood has been established. If our neighborhood is established, it means that it is working in our tunnel. Now let's check it by typing show IP route. When we check, you can see that it learns the 10.1.1.0 subnet through the tunnel 100 interface. Now let's come to router 1 and make a traceroute to 10.2.2.2, and I write 10.1.1.1 as the source. As you can see, traceroute has been completed successfully. Now let's check by typing show interface tunnel 100. Here you can see the whole configuration of the tunnel, but I don't want to see the whole configuration, so I'm going to filter a little. Here you can see that our tunnel interface is up, the line protocol is up, Keep Alive will try 5 seconds and 3 times. You can see that our tunnel source address is 164.1.164.2.2 and our destination address, and we use GRE IP as the protocol. This is how we structure the GRE. That's all I'm going to tell you in this lesson. See you in our next lesson. Goodbye.